need headphones.
I know. That's what I just said.
Well, Rashad he's got
baby.
it.
Thanks, baby. Are we on the air?
And they are babies. They're so cute.
I know. Very young.
Welcome to the Z89 Alumni Show. It's Alumni Weekend.
Yes, it is.
Oh, who's that? It's Chris Bungo.
Hi there.
Hey. And
Julie Bruno.
Oh, Julie the Bee.
Yeah, that's right.
And I'm Mary Mancini. And we had a bigger crowd the last time we did this.
We did, and things kind of got a little out of control. I'm surprised the wonderful staff here at Z89 is actually letting us back on the air again, but we want to thank them for that.
Yeah, we do thank them for that. That was 4 years ago, so they may not remember. It's a whole different staff. That's what it is. It's a completely different staff.
Right.
No, but so there's a game going on.
Yeah, so I guess nobody wanted to actually work this hour, so they figured,
I just scalped a ticket. I'm hoping it's legitimate.
Oh, yeah.
Is that against the law?
How many seconds are we into the show?
I'll be pulled off the air
already.
Controversial.
I think I can see the police coming through the big picture window here at the new Envision Radio Networks WJPZ Z89 World Communications Hub
headquarters.
It's
beautiful in here.
It's really nice.
It's real.
It is real. Is that the official top of the hour line that we're using?
Broadcasting from the Dana Walkoff Envision Radio Z89 studios with the Julie Bruno inspired picture window.
That's right.
Into the studio.
Thank you.
WJPZ Syracuse. Do we still need to say that?
Yes. Although I think the computer might have played that at the top of the hour.
Right.
But we actually are going to hear a couple of legal IDs. We're going to do something a little different this time. Mm-hmm. We won't have alumni just blathering on incessantly about things. People, today, if you listen, you're going to learn something.
Really?
Yes.
I did not know
We are going
that.
to take a stroll down memory lane to the first year.
Whose memories?
To the first year of WJPZ-FM. This is 1985.
Yep.
We're just going to listen to a couple clips, a couple promos that were airing during that time. And I just want to point out that the three of us were all here on that January 30th, 1985.
We were. And I was trying to remember, back then the legal drinking age was 18.
Yep.
So we were all able to have champagne.
Yes.
At the christening of the station.
Did they actually break a bottle, like when you do with the cruise ship? You know, did we break a bottle of champagne against the transmitter tower or something? I don't think we did.
No, I think Mark Humble broke it over Happy Dave's head. I think so. I think that's
Happy Dave. We're going to be hearing from Happy Dave as well.
And it's really fitting that you brought these clips in now, because last night, and that we're talking about a christening, right? Because last night we christened, as an alumni association, this brand new beautiful studio that we are broadcasting from. Mm-hmm. And just to kind of give you an idea of what it's like. So 4 years ago, Julie Bruno and I come back to the banquet for the first time in a very long time. And we're taking a tour of the station. And Julie has this bright idea. And what was the idea that you had?
Well, when we came in, you couldn't really see into the studios. The studios were kind of running perpendicular to the walls, and they were blocked with no glass. And I said, gee, this should be a visible studio that kids can come in and see. Just seeing kids on the air is a learning experience in and of itself. It's also a selling point, I think, for parents who are coming to look at the school. So I just mentioned it. I don't know if that had anything to do with it.
Here we are.
Look at it. It's exactly what I was thinking.
It's exactly what you were thinking. So apparently from Julie Bruno's lips to the chancellor's
to the architect,
ears.
yes.
Right.
Okay, there were some steps in between.
Yes. No, but they did a great job. I'm really glad to see the university is involved, and it looks beautiful in here.
It really does look beautiful. So you walk into Watson, you can see right into the station. Next door is the TV station, but you can see right into the sound. Is it called the sound booth? What's it called? What are the kids called? The studio. Thank you. From the studio.
Thank you, Rashad.
Thank you, Rashad. You can actually look to your right and you can actually see into a production studio or probably a new.
That's probably the news
booth,
studio.
right?
Yeah, news booth.
And there are beautiful offices. There is a main room where that has like a little S-shaped desk with computers on it. A common room. There's the tech room where all the equipment is. It's stunning. It's beautiful.
It's
here.
nicer than some radio stations I've worked at.
Really?
Oh, it's nicer than every radio station I ever worked at.
Yeah, but I mean, this is, state of the art, from what I can say. So let's hear these clips, Mary.
Yes.
Oh, all right.
What do you want us to play first?
Let's start off with clip number 2, which is actually the first words spoken over our air here at 89.1.
Now on the air. Our studios are located in Watson Theater, and our transmitting facilities are on the top of Day Hall here on the Syracuse University campus. Our effective radiated power is 100 watts, and we will be broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We have finally realized our dream. WJPZ began in 1974 with Craig Fox as general manager. And in our early days, we broadcast as a low-powered AM facility located in the basement of the old Spectrum Records building. Through the years, WJPZ has experienced many hard times, but many more good times as well. Old WJPZ staff members have moved on and currently are excelling in their profession in various markets throughout the country, and their continued support provides a constant inspiration for our current staff. In 1982, former General Manager Bob Flint and our current Chief Engineer Eric Fitch began working on this FM project. Over the past 2.5 years, many dedicated students, including Mark Humble and the aforementioned amazing engineer Eric Fitch, have aided the station in this quest for an FM license. I could go on for hours regarding the station, the past, and the future, and throughout the evening I will be congratulating the people who helped work on this project, but for now, we'll simply let the music speak for itself here on the all-new Z89.
Wow, that's amazing.
Who was that speaking?
That's Chris Mossman, who was our general manager here on January 30th, 1985.
So that there was sound in the background of people cheering?
Yeah.
Was that live? That was actually people cheering?
Yeah, were you here in the studio? And there were...
here.
Yeah.
In the room. Yes.
I have no recollection.
I mean, the hallways were just like packed with staffers. I think even Channel 3 was here broadcasting or at least taping something for the 11 o'clock news.
And okay, so the other thing that's going on this weekend is the production of a document, like a mini documentary about WJPZ. And so Scotty McFarlane has been interviewing alums for all day yesterday, pretty much.
Yeah.
And one of the really interesting things that has come out of that is that sense of community that we all have for this place and the affection that we all have for this place. And so it's really a great, people talked a lot. I think you may have talked a lot about, oh no, you weren't here. Rocco, sorry, get you two confused. Talked about that first night, you know, and what it was like for everyone to be in the studio and to flip the switch and how, we went from sort of 0 to 60 overnight, right? So there was a group of loyal listeners that we had, but then all of a sudden, with the flip of one switch, the phones were lighting up more. There's more feedback.
Absolutely.
Sales of music that we were playing on the air shot up at Spectrum Records. You could see the impact almost immediately.
Yeah.
And it was a great moment.
It was exciting. Continuing on here, we were talking a couple minutes ago about the legal ID, WJPZ Syracuse. I also found a clip of the first legal ID that was played here on Z89. That's going to be clip number 3.
The future has arrived. WJPZ Syracuse is Z89.
Wow.
Remember that?
Now, who was that?
That was Steve Simpson, who worked here at WJPZ back in 1984, probably 83, 84, and 85. Okay. I don't think he was ever on air here. By the time that we got on FM, he was working in professional radio at 62 WHEN here in Syracuse. But he did a lot of our early production. I think now he's working in Indianapolis. He's doing a talk show in the afternoon over there. I think he's been there for a couple of years now.
Uh-oh. What kind of talk show?
Well, I can only imagine.
There's only a few types of talk shows that I know of that exist.
I don't think it's a political talk show.
Okay.
I think it's more.
What
just,
is it?
It's a locally oriented talk show.
So that's actually a thing that's happening now. Is a lot of stations are putting these local oriented, maybe in 1 or 2 slots, not 24/7,
right?
But in between their syndicated material, they're putting locally produced shows on, at least in the morning or afternoon. And so maybe it's one of just sort of like public interest, a little bit of news, local news,
right?
Community service kind of thing,
right? Really, I think for a lot of the students who are thinking of going into a career in radio, we're seeing a lot of talk moving off of AM stations and onto FM stations.
Yeah, that's big in Boston, where I live.
Yeah, and you can still run a talk show very tight. Just like here at Z89, the mission is to always run a very tight music-centered show. I've heard even the sports and the newscasts here, and they're just very, they're very tight. This is why this particular radio station is a great training ground, not only for if you're going to go on to work in music radio, but even talk radio as well.
The greatest media classroom, Z89.
It is.
It really is. And it's still learning. I mean, look at us.
Yeah.
I just learned how to work all these knobs and buttons and this new board.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
I mean, everything's now on a computer. I said a couple minutes before the show that I'm useless. I don't know how to run this board. It's all computer. I can't help you at all.
Oh, it's fine. It's easy. You'd learn it in a snap.
We did, we played some interesting music. You were our music director, Mary, back in...
I was, and apparently I was a tyrant, so I don't remember.
Isn't it funny everyone tells you? I mean, you were. But, right now, if driving up here on my long drive up from Boston yesterday, I listened to satellite radio, and the station I had on the most for music was First Wave, which is primarily all the songs we played at Z89 back in the 80s. Bronski Beat, The Smiths,
Echo
Bang
and the
Gong,
Bunnymen, right?
Duran Duran, all that stuff that we played back then.
Howard Jones,
Alison, what was her name?
Moyer. Yes.
What was that song she had?
Invisible.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm not going to try to sing. And that is JPZ back in 1985, First Wave on Sirius.
So this is what I was trying to figure out yesterday. The format that we chose to go on the air with.
Yeah.
That was his
phone.
That
was me. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
The format that we chose to go in, and I can't remember if this was something that we created or not, but it used to be that the formats, if you did top 40, you chose a genre of music, right? You chose dance or...
Right.
Top 40. I mean, anyway, I kind of remember us mixing it up a lot. Like we said, oh, to heck with the conventional wisdom that urban contemporary music, which is what it was called back then,
yes,
can't mix with, regular pop or with, alternative rock.
Right.
And that we sort of mixed it all together. And it kind of worked.
We had...
And it seems like that's what Top 40 Radio has really evolved into now.
Right. But we were doing it in 1985 where we would play a song by the Smiths. Go Wikipedia that, everybody.
Yeah.
And then we would go...
Sun and the earth. Remember that song?
Oh my God, is Marcy here?
Yeah, man.
And then from the Smiths, we would go into Shannon.
Or Sade.
Remember? I think we were the first to play Sade here in the market. And I mean, Mary, you were on top of all of these, all of these trends. I mean, you're like, oh, no. But yeah.
Well, it was interesting because it wasn't like I was figuring that stuff out in a vacuum. I came from the DJ.
You added a song called Love in a Vacuum by Till Tuesday.
Oh, yeah.
But there was working within the DJ community here.
Yeah.
It helped that a lot because as, when you're in the DJ community and you're working in clubs, you're hearing other DJs play songs and that you don't know about. And then you're like, oh, that's really cool. So I was influenced a lot by what I was hearing at the clubs when I wasn't going to class a lot. So there was, it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't like that just came out of nowhere. It was coming from that culture. And I think that's actually what's happening still, right? Is new songs get broken in clubs.
Yeah.
Before they-
Well,
before they
and
started
on the internet
On the
now.
internet now
Look at
is-
Macklemore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That thrift shop song, Nobody Would Give Him a Deal. That
yeah,
song
yeah,
is
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
But wait, let's go back to Till Tuesday for a second. Do you watch Girls on HBO?
Oh, yes.
Did you notice Michael Penn is doing the music for that show?
Oh, I did not.
And Amy
Wait.
Mann from Till Tuesday.
Michael Penn, and Amy Mann was Till
And they're
Tuesday,
married.
Right.
And last week at the end of the show, I noticed this. It was definitely Amy Mann singing whatever the song was. It was an original song for the show, but her voice, even 30 years later, is as distinct as it was back then.
Really?
You know?
Yeah, I had thought about bringing some of the songs, but then I thought against it because at that point we would probably be banned for life from the radio station if we did that.
Why?
I mean, come on.
Tell me why. Tell me why.
Tell me why.
What time is it, by the way? You know what you need in here, Rashad? You need a clock because I have no idea what time it is. 12:26.
Okay,
All
so-
right,
So I just got to tell you, I just got a text from Tommy G, who said, "Yeah, but Mary gave me David Hasselhoff's 'Do You Love Me' to air
You did not. I don't believe it.
on the Crazy Morning Crew."
Well, almost anything goes when it comes to the Crazy Morning Crew.
Oh, I'm just getting a text from Chris Godsick, who's upset that I plug Girls. So let's plug Veep. Veep on HBO, which our friend Chris Godsick, who was Captain Chris at WJPZ back in '85.
Who we're going to hear from on one of these clips.
Oh, let's play his clip.
let's play a clip
He
of
is
that.
a producer
coming up.
of Veep, and we love that show. It's so fantastic. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it.
It is hilarious.
Yeah, hilarious, Larry. All right, put it on.
All right, hold on.
Here you go, Chris. This
hold
is
on.
for you.
No, this isn't Chris. This isn't Chris yet.
Oh, it's not Chris.
No, this is Julie Bruno's moment to shine.
Oh.
We did this thing called the all-time request line.
Oh my God, I don't know.
Do you remember that?
Yes, I don't know if I want to hear this.
We basically had all the listeners write in because there was no internet at the time. You couldn't vote on the web. What their favorite song was of all
Oh, this
time.
was a debacle. This was a debacle.
Well,
Because we picked, wasn't it Purple Rain as the number one song?
oh yeah, okay, great. You did.
Oh, I just, yeah. Let me tell you, people were furious. Sorry.
Forget it.
Oh, sorry. Did I
So
just
we
blow
actually
it?
should have had that production meeting before we came
We
on
should
air.
have. But,
People were out of their minds. And this is the first time I realized anyone was actually listening to the show.
Yeah.
Because people were calling in, swearing at us, Purple Rain, bad.
and worse. And first, we're going to start off with a promo that was promoting the show. This is going to be cut number 4.
What's your favorite song? That's the question that Z89 asked you last month when we introduced the all-time request line. You voted, and we listened. Join Z89 this Saturday beginning at 1 p.m. when we'll start counting down your top 89 requested songs of all time. We'll also be giving away an $89 gift certificate from Desert Shore Records. That's the all-time request line Saturday starting at 1 p.m. right here on Z89.
Who is that? Is that Chris Godsick?
No,
that
that's
was Father Happy Dave Dwyer.
Father Happy Dave
Okay,
Dwyer.
so go to the next clip.
From,
I want to hear what
Busted,
happened.
Busted Halo.
That's
on
right.
Sirius.
On Sirius XM. Okay, now let's jump into the actual show, which was, I think it ran about 8 or 9 hours, hosted by Julie Bruno
And Mike
Nelson. And
R.I.P.
Yeah, what we're going to hear is the beginning of the show, number 89, and then the lead up to number 1. That's going to be cut number 5.
It's time for the Z89 all-time request line.
The future has arrived. WJPZ Syracuse is Z89.
Okay, it's time for the Z89 all-time request line. Aren't you psyched, Julie?
Oh, I'm so psyched, Mike.
Okay, well, we've got something a little bit different today. We've compiled all your favorite requests, right?
From about a month ago, we've collected these.
People wrote in, told us what their favorite songs are. We picked 89, count them, 89 favorites. And this list is, what shall we call it? A little bit what?
Different.
Diverse?
Yeah, we've got an incredible amount of music here from all spectrums of the radio world.
That was very good.
Yeah, and I think that everyone's going to really enjoy it. There's something for everyone in this list.
All right, well, the key here, though, is diversity.
She's buying a stairway to heaven.
Z89.
I'd like to call you up to thank you. This is the first time I've ever heard that Stairway to Heaven is not number 1.
And you're glad.
I love it. I'm glad. I like Stay at Heaven, but isn't that? There's a lot better songs than it. Honest, thank you so much.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye. Z89.
Yeah, I just want to say, I think this song should definitely be number one also. It's just like such a classic.
All right, we thank you very much for your opinion.
It's also like a great song.
Okay, thanks for calling.
Well, here it is.
The number one song, Mike, amid much controversy.
That's right. It was voted by you, our listeners.
Yeah, don't blame us. You people are the ones
What do
that
you mean
voted
blame?
for this.
It is a fantastic song.
Certainly. But we had some people who threatened to blow up the station because Led Zeppelin was not number
That's
one.
true.
I just want to save us.
Okay, well, here it is.
Okay.
The group is Prince and the Revolution, and the song is Purple Rain.
I never meant to call you when you follow.
I can't.
That's it.
That's hilarious. Wait, what was that last bit?
I don't know. Was that me yelling?
I think that was a phone caller coming in. You put on the air by mistake.
Oh, Julie, you sound great. You and Mike sounded great. You really
Doesn't
did.
sound like Mike, and I sounded like a shrill teenager.
Oh, you sounded perky.
That was perky. Yes, I'm
you
not
sounded
perky.
happy.
I'm not perky like that anymore, Mary. I couldn't even come up with that if I tried.
Don't I know it? I'm rooming with her. So what was the story now? So that
People were really upset.
they were mad that it was Prince?
And Purple Rain is the number one song of all time.
They wanted it to be Led Zeppelin?
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
But that song with Purple Rain was really popular in the early 80s. I think it was just more current than.
Right.
Did I tell you I saw Robert Plant?
No.
I saw Robert Plant in Washington a couple months ago at the Kennedy Center Honors. We were in the same hotel.
No, you know what? You didn't, because you also told me you saw someone else.
Stephen Colbert.
Yeah, and that was a little bit more.
I did talk to him. But I saw all of them. Jimmy Page, who, by the way, Jimmy Page looks like Bill Clinton. And I am not kidding. No, you look at a picture of Jimmy Page now with the white hair, the face, very similar to Bill Clinton. Fascinating.
Did you tell him that?
I did not. I tried to get close to Robert Plant, and he did not care. And he was with Patty Griffin. They live together now. You know Patty Griffin? She's a folk singer.
I do. I didn't know that.
So I went up to her because I've seen her in concert many times, and she seemed stunned that there was anybody even who knew who she was, besides being Robert Plant's girlfriend. And I guess she's just very shy. She was not really into me talking to her. But yeah, all those guys, John Paul Jones, Jimmy Page, who's the other guy with Led Zeppelin? No, it's just those three. John Paul Jones,
Robert Plant.
And Jimmy Page.
Because John Bonham
died.
R.I.P.
Right. And yeah, there's a ton of people at this hotel. Like
Okay, so you talked...
Kid Rock.
Who did you talk to?
Colbert.
What'd you say?
Well, he was in the lounge with his wife, and they were talking. But I had to talk to him. I had to go up to him and explain to him how important he is to me in my life. So the first thing I did is I walked over to them, and I just looked at the wife. I looked right at her, and I said, I am really sorry to bother you. And then I turned to him. And I'm like, I love you. Oh my God, that time you did this thing with that thing.
I looked straight at the wife.
Yeah.
I elbowed her out of the way.
Yeah, I pushed her right aside. And he was really nice, and he laughed, and he said, I said, I love everything you do. He goes, you're welcome. And so then I said to him, I said, I really haven't watched much since the election because I just was so overloaded with the election that I just had to back off and go to bed early, at a reasonable hour. And he said, yeah, ever since the election, we're just dealing with crumbs. We got nothing left. And I said, I know it must be really hard. And he said, I have a huge staff of people and they really make it easy for me. But it was so exciting, and he's so nice and normal, and he was really nice to my daughter. He said hello to her, and then later when he saw her in the lobby, he let me take a picture with my daughter and him.
Did he do the, this is my 9-year-old friend pose?
He went like this.
He did.
Did you see it?
Yeah.
He's like this. I'm pointing at her.
Wait, she's 9, right?
She's 9, yeah. So, and in fact, Mary, it was my daughter, 9 years old, who said to me, there's Stephen Colbert. She spotted him.
You get the Parent of the Year award.
I know. I mean, that's impressive.
That is.
I don't care that she's failing out of math and English. She knows who Stephen Colbert is.
That's right. Is she listening?
No, she's at ballet class right now. Yes.
So besides the Colbert Report, one of our other favorite shows is Veep on HBO.
Veep.
Yes.
Produced by
Christopher Godsick.
Christopher Godsick of
Class
the
of-
Dalton School in Manhattan.
Well, in class of 87 here.
Class of
at
87.
Z89.
That's right. And we are in give us the rundown of the name of the studio that we're in. We want to give some shout outs to some.
The Dano Walkoff
Alumni.
Memorial Envision.
Well, it's not a memorial.
He's not dead.
Well, there's a big oil painting of him hanging right above the door.
With his gold chain.
And see that bust of Dano in the corner there? I think that's bronze, isn't it?
It is.
The Dano Walkoff Envision Radio Network's broadcast Z89 Worldwide Hub.
This
Broadcast Center.
brought a term to mind, which I hadn't heard in a while, which is theater of the mind.
Yes.
Is somebody calling, Mary? It looks like the phone is ringing.
I think that's the disco lights.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got some...
Oh, is there a phone number?
I don't know.
Rashad, come here.
The number is 443-4487, 315-443-4487, and you guys are on iHeartRadio, so they can go on iHeartRadio.com, and of course download the iHeartRadio app.
And all across the world, country code, international dialing, country code 1.
Because WJPZ has alumni all over the world.
We do.
Yes.
We do.
No, they definitely do.
Yeah. So let's play a song, take a break.
Okay.
We'll wait for the phone to ring. Boy, that sounds familiar. And we'll take a quick break, and Rashad's going to put something... What are you going to put on?
I'm going to put in a thrift shop.
Oh, I love it! Alumni Radio Show Dance Party.
Turn it up.
Some tags. I got $20 in my pocket. I'm looking for a drummer. This is
awesome. I love that song.
And he's got a really interesting story too.
Yeah, what I mean, I know a little bit, but what do you know about it? I don't know.
So it's Macklemore.
Yeah, Macklemore.
He had some issues with some substance abuse. And he sort of brought himself out of it. But he's been putting out records for a decade or more, and just, releasing them on the internet.
Yeah.
The internets, on his own. And he's just sort of built up this following. Went through some struggles, got his, crap together.
Yeah.
And here he is with this huge hit that is just so catchy, such an amazing song.
It's an inspiration.
Is there more behind that? Like, is there more where that came from, is my question.
Yes. Oh, okay. So here's the other thing.
Yeah.
He's got this amazing song called Some Love.
Yeah.
You need to Google it and watch the video. It will give you goosebumps. It's all about, love is love. It's hard enough to find somebody that you can love, let alone, worrying about if it's someone of the same sex or opposite sex. It's a very pro-relationship, pro-marriage for everyone, marriage equality type song.
But is it a ballad, or is it
it's kind of a ballad.
Thing?
No, it's kind of a ballad, and it's gorgeous. It's beautiful, and it just has such a heartfelt message,
All
that
right.
just, it's
I'll have to check it
some
out.
love. Yeah, it's really amazing. And then I guess he's got more too, which I haven't even delved into the real.
So does he have a record contract now?
Does
he have a record contract?
It's a good question.
I
love it. Let's talk about Chris
Wikipedia.
Bungo's. Let's talk about Chris Bungo's role at the station during the 80s, because he keeps giving Julie the eye while we're sitting here,
Because
and that
he's still
eye
my
is
producer.
the producer in him. Yeah. And the eye means Julie,
Move it
get
along.
closer to the microphone.
Closer to the microphone. Move it along.
Oh, I didn't know it. Move it
Chris
along.
was always like the most patient man with me ever. In my whole life, probably Chris Bungo was the most patient man I ever dealt with.
Oh, thank you.
It's true.
I'm not like that anymore.
Yeah, I'm not.
Well, you don't have Julie in your life on a daily
No,
basis
but like
anymore.
True.
You were really good about telling people how to do things and getting the best out of them. And I appreciate that, Chris. I wish we still worked together in some capacity.
Oh, we may again
You never know.
someday.
Yes,
Yeah.
who knows? But you were really good like that. And Chris was really responsible for a ton of the promo spots and production stuff. I don't know.
Here in the
you
in the
did
first year.
so much.
Yeah, but there were a lot of other people involved too. Rashad, you guys still do the top 8 at 9, don't you?
We do. We have the Z8 at 9. Z8 at 9.
Oh,
That's what we.
That was the show I did.
That's what we.
The Z8
The Z8 at 9. Yep.
All right.
Yeah, top 9.
That's cute.
Yeah.
When we launched this top 8 and 9 thing back in the spring of 1985, we
It was the Better Hit Music Survey. That's what we call it.
Well, that was the weekly countdown. But every weeknight at 9 o'clock, we would count down the 8 most requested songs of the day. And we wanted to make a connection between the 8 and the 9 and the Z89 on cut number, what did they say that was? Cut number 7. Here is us driving that point home.
It's the top 8 at 9. Get it? Z89.
That's ERR, Eric Renner.
Oh my God, ERR! I remember.
Where is he on ESPN or is it Fox Sports now? TV. He's on TV nationally at the moment.
Somebody get out that smartphone.
Yeah.
Google him.
We got to keep moving along here. A couple other things that I want to sneak in before we have to move along here. Part of the fun of working here is that this is not a commercial radio station, and we can kind of push the envelope a bit more than if you were at a commercial station. So we like to make fun of some of the other radio stations in town and point out the strengths of Z89 and the deficiencies of the other stations. So let's do rapid fire 3 promos in a row from the spring of 1985.
One day in the head honcho's office at another radio station in Syracuse.
Hey, boss, I heard this hot new hit. I really think we should be playing on the station.
Oh, it sounds great. Come on in. Hey, grab a bagel. Sit down and talk to me about it.
Okay, well, I really think it's going to be a hot hit.
Is it by Journey?
No, it's not by Journey. So, boss, could you pass me the cream cheese right there?
Here you go. Hey, is it by REO Speedwagon?
No, that's not by them.
It's by Loverboy, isn't it?
No, it's not by Loverboy. Hey, boss, you ever notice that every room in this building really echoes a lot?
Well, who is this song by?
Well, boss, it's probably by a group that you've never even heard of.
Well, in that case, we're definitely not going to play it on this station.
But boss, they played it on Z89.
Oh, really? They're playing it on Z89? Well, let's get it on the air right away.
Future Radio, Z89. We play the hits before they're hot.
When you turn on your radio, is this what you hear?
All right, headbangers, we're going to keep rocking you with the whole half hour of no commercials. And we'll do that right after these commercials.
Or maybe something like this.
Good afternoon, Central New York. Why don't you stay tuned? Because we'll be back to Boogie Down with Simon and Garfunkel, kicking off another hour and a half of no commercials. And we'll do that right after these commercials.
If you're fed up with all the no commercials on the other FM stations, give Z89 a try. We never play commercials. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And that's a lot longer than an hour and a half. Z89, future hits with no commercial.
Recently, Z89's Crazy Morning Crew discussed the latest radio ratings in which Z89 found itself located comfortably in the top 10. Let's take a listen.
Kicking some tunes around right now.
Are they hot tunes?
They are hot tunes.
No, wait a minute. Wait, let's work out an equation here. We're 100 watts.
We are 100 watts.
And we're slightly better than them.
And they're 50,000 watts.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I guess that just goes to show who the big butt kicker is around here.
That's
Future
right.
Radio, Z89.
We play them before they're hot, before they're tunes.
And it's no secret.
Future hits, commercial free. Future Radio, Z89.
So there we go.
Hubris.
Yes.
It's a good thing. It's a good trait to have when you're doing radio.
So we took a shot at 93Q in the first promo that we heard.
Yeah.
Back in the day, they had an echo chamber on every single microphone in the building there. Their morning show would give away a bagel every day.
Oh.
Oh my God.
Hence the
one bagel
reference.
A bagel. Yeah. Oh, you win a bagel today.
Okay, that's kind of funny.
93Q. Happy Dave Dwyer doing a very good impression of whoever that guy was 20 years ago. Then we did 95X and Y94 in the second promo. I remember playing that one for Phil Acasio, who's also a WJPZ alumni
But
here.
worked at
Y94.
He was the program director, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. When I played it for him, he's like, "Oh, it's cute, but no, don't put that on the air. Don't put that on the air."
And what'd you do?
We put it on the air. And then there was another ratings service back then called Birch.
Oh yeah, I remember them.
Which would give out the ratings for all the radio stations, unlike Arbitron, where you had to pay to access the ratings. And we found out that one quarter we were number 6 in the market, and that was the Crazy Morning Crew that we heard at the end, kind of trumpeting that hey, we've actually beat a professional commercial radio station at 50,000 watts, and we're this little 100-watt radio station.
That's pretty amazing. And that was what, 86?
That was fall of 85.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
Oh, fall of 85. We were gone.
Yeah, you guys were gone at that point.
We were just
gone, baby, gone.
You were gone, but we were still doing some crazy stuff in the fall of 85. I want to go to another promo here, number 18. This is a little bit risque for 1985.
Many self-proclaimed sex therapists believe the key to good sex is being able to find the Z-spot, the climatic point which, when aroused, brings about a state of erogenous euphoria. Those fortunate enough to reach these new heights of sensation know that Z89 is Syracuse's Z-spot. Let everyone know you're sexually dynamic and be the proud owner of the provocatively hot I Found My Z-Spot Z-shirt or the aphrodisiac Z89 logo Z-shirt. To win your Z-shirt, keep it tuned to Better Hit Music Z89.
Julie, you're blushing.
That was Kathy Collins. Do you remember? That was Kathy Collins.
Oh, yeah?
Do you know what she does now?
No, what is another alumni?
Little tiny Kathy Collins. You heard the voice, and she was this big and this big.
Mm-hmm.
She is a Los Angeles police officer.
Nice.
And years ago, she came to Boston, and we had lunch, and she's sitting there with this little tiny shirt on, really, really small, and she's telling me about being a cop. I'm like, are you packing heat right now? And she goes like this. She lifts up her shirt, and there's like a little tiny gun right here. And I was like, oh my God. She worked.
That's the cutest gun ever.
Yeah. It's so cute. And she works in Vice. She worked in Vice for a long time. I don't know where she is in the department now, but she would go down to Rampart. She worked in the Rampart section of Los Angeles and dress up like, in Lady of the Evening clothes, and then bust the people. Is that unbelievable?
That is crazy. That might win the best alumni job award.
Transfer. Yeah. And she was on that show.
Radio.
Do you know she was
not
on
doing
that
radio
show?
category.
No, but she was on TV in that show Cops, or there was a reality show years ago before reality shows got really big, and I think it was called Cops or LAPD or something. Yeah. And she was on that show.
Wow.
Yeah.
Rashad, you interested in a career in law enforcement?
I am not.
No.
I am not. I'm going to stick to radio.
But it's just the most bizarre thing because, again, this is not someone in a million bajillion years. I mean, you would pick me to be a cop before her.
Yeah,
and that's
definitely.
saying something, right?
Definitely.
I mean, she would never, I just couldn't believe that that's what she had done, but she's done really well, and I think her husband's a Los Angeles police officer, too.
All right.
Well, the Alumni Association does come back to the university every year for a banquet, usually the first or second week of March. That's what we're here for this weekend. And it's really an amazing collection of people, and to reconnect. It's almost as if, we don't talk to each other really for a year, and then we come back together, and it's as if a day hasn't passed, which is really fantastic. But it's a great organization to belong to. It's doing wonderful things in terms of other alumni from the station, older alumni helping younger alumni.
Definitely.
And I know that your company, Promo Suites, is it Promo Suite or Suites?
Sweet.
Sweet. Promo Suite.
SUIT.
Has along with Envision, has given a lot back to the Alumni Association, Chris. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
And the news that we found out today is that the website, which is
WJPZalumni.org.
Thank you. Is going to be transferred into an archival history website. So a lot of for instance, the things that you heard today on the air will be up there. There'll be other air checks. There'll be photos, newspaper articles. It'll be a repository so that people could go and learn about the station or relive the glory days or however they want to use it. And then eventually the mini doc will probably be up there as well.
Right,
so,
the documentary.
You should go there, sign up for the email newsletter, because I think that's going to start coming out in terms of, a daily history digest kind of a thing with a
this day in the history.
This day in the history. So the WJPZ Alumni Organization, check it out. I want to thank Rashad and the current students for allowing us to do this hour of radio. And it's always nice to come back and get back in touch with your roots again. So
absolutely.
We have just a few more minutes, I think. The game is still going on.
I'm going to the game.
Oh, yeah, this is a good story. Julie, why don't you tell them the how you left Mary out in the cold story?
I was coming out of the Sheraton to come over to do the show, and this guy is like, you want to buy tickets? And I'm like, I got $23 in my pocket. What can you give me? He goes, I can give you one ticket. I'm like, all right, I'll take it. So I'm going to the game by myself. Mary, I said, Mary, are you upset? She said, no, I'm not upset, but when we get on the air, I'm going to be really upset. So I'm heading to the game.
Again, theater of the mind.
Yes, I know. I like to keep
the funny
real.
thing,
I like keeping it real.
Yeah, you do like keeping it real. And then the other funny thing is that, so she's talking about what's going to happen afterwards. And she's like, so that then after the game, we can go to King David's and get, falafel and hummus. I'm like, I'm not waiting for you. You're going to the game. I'm going to King David's.
I'm going to the game now, and then I should be at King David's by 2:30ish.
Oh, you know what? I may still be there eating.
You'll still be there with your falafel hanging out of your mouth.
What a lovely sight.
Best falafel in town.
It is. Can you imagine?
Kind of like the chicken wings that were coming out of. Oh my God! Yesterday at the Varsity was just sort of a
Are they
a chicken wing orgy?
Yeah.
Okay.
I had a food baby after I ate that stuff.
Oh, my.
I had like 3 pieces of pizza, a couple of beers, and then a plate of wings, blue cheese. Oh,
and last night was really cool because everywhere we went, we sort of filled up the place.
Yeah.
Right, all the alumni that were in town, and it was unofficial, but everybody knows. Right after the dedication of this new beautiful facility, everybody went to the Varsity, filled up like. I don't know, half the place, half the Varsity. And then after that, everybody went over to Fagan's, filled up Fagan's. And it's not just alumni either. It's current students as well.
This is what happened to me and Mary. We will go to Fagan's, okay? And we're standing there trying to get any bartender to notice us because we are no longer 20, so nobody could give it. So anyway, long story short, we're sitting there, and these 3 young girls at the bar turn to us and say, "Are you professors?" I'm like,
"Oh my God,
professors! You might as well have."
It was like the exotic animal exhibit at the zoo.
Yeah.
It's like, what are these?
What are these older broads?
These creatures that have come and invaded our
said,
space.
Mary, I got to get out of here right now.
Hang on a minute. So that was Friday.
Yep.
That was happy hour time.
Yep.
I want to squeeze in one more clip here.
Oh,
okay.
It's very appropriate. ERR, Eric Renner, who we heard earlier, originated the Z89 Zappy Hour, which he would do every Friday afternoon at 5 o'clock. And I just want to give you a little taste of what it was like with an ERR Zappy Hour. In October of 85, that will be cut 23.
Future Radio Z89. Yes, the excitement is mounting here, if you can believe. ERR's Zappy Hour, just moments away. Hey, for all you homecoming folks, I will explain that in just a moment.
Someday won't it ever, and someday pass on by. I'll be working it forever, at least until I die. Damn if you do, damn if you don't. I'm supposed to get a raise next week, you know that when I won't.
You know what time it is once again. It's Zappy Hour. All you homecoming folks out there are probably wondering what the heck is going on. Well, it's Friday. It's 5 o'clock, and we're here to party, basically getting everybody psyched up for the weekend and come out and, well, you know what the heck I'm talking about. Come on, let's see what's going on for the weekend. Happy